All right, we are back. Hello, everybody. I am back and chilling. We're gonna code all day today, or as long as we can. Try to solve some problems. The last time that I was working on stuff, let me run this. Pretty much for some reason, the last app was or the I'm trying to get the foregrounded app, like the current foregrounded app, and it's not updating for some reason. So this is like the last part. I feel like we're pretty close. Um, where's Android Studio? Also, my computer might lag because I'm opening up so many IDEs, but hopefully we'll be okay. Hey, what's up, Will? What's up? What's up? Welcome. I am back. I have been coding offline, and that's been helping me have a little bit more clarity. I feel like I don't have to talk as much, so it's easier for me to focus. But I'm gonna just try to focus the entire day today, and hopefully, if it's just like a heads down, focus on work type of live stream, hopefully I can get this part done. And then I bought all the equipment that I needed, all the cables that I need in order to stream my MacBook. Because after we're done with this, we are gonna go into the iOS portion of the app, and that should be exciting. It should be fun. How's it going? I felt like I kind of talked about it a little bit already about where I'm currently at. So yeah, it's going well. A little bit of a headache, but I mean that's normal debugging, right? How are you doing, Will? What's up, Sarah? How are you doing? Hope your day's going well. We are coding today, and hopefully it goes well. Last time I tried to reduce yeah, this didn't really help. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what else we can do here. Let me see. We are back to looking at usage events. Move to foreground. Oh, maybe that's what I need. Wait, what's move to foreground? Isn't this deprecated already? That is deprecated. Deprecated by this. If the package has multiple activities, this event is reported for each activity that moves to the foreground. This event is corresponding to activity on resume. Is this running now? It is. Okay. We're going to background app this, see if it works. Let's try the settings app. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I just don't know what it is. Whoa, that's a quick typing. Yeah. I mean, I type all the time, so. Okay, see, now it's working. Now it shows the setting, right? If I go to like this, like Google, does it change? It does. Okay, so how come it wasn't working before? Okay, I'm actually boggled because I thought that okay, this is working. This is working. I'm upset. Yesterday I was trying my hardest and it wasn't working. What the actual. Okay, this is working now. I don't know how to explain this. Look, and now it's going to go to focus. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, it's working. Okay. So this is good. This is good. Now okay. I literally didn't change anything. Sometimes I Joemer, it is the beginning. It is the beginning of the coding session. Calm down. Calm down. Composure. We have another like 8 hours to go. Don't lose your cool. Just keep coding. Everything is fine. Okay, this is all working now. Cool. Cool. Okay, so this is working fine. We don't need this. We don't need this. I mean, we'll clean up all the comments out eventually, but so right now when we add something, we want I don't think we need to care about the foreground time necessarily. We just have to do something like this. And this way this will add to the foreground time. Right? Right. Okay, so let's see if this works. So we're gonna stop this. Why didn't this work yesterday? I literally didn't change anything. I started it and okay, it's fine. So what this should do is if we run this app now, we should start getting time differences based off of if the app is foregrounded. Oh. Also, I forgot I was gonna do a type bracer really quick while we're waiting, but I realized that my E key doesn't work, so I can't really do a type bracer. At least not right now. Hopefully when I get a new keyboard I can. Alright, we're gonna try this out again. Um so now nothing is running. We're going to background it. It's going to wipe the stack, like the background app. It's going to start all over again. And we're going to get camera, and the camera is going to be moving here. You can see that the time is like accruing. Okay, cool. And then okay, and then if we switch to, let's say, hold on, wait, let me see if there's a Drive, Tools, YouTube, Google. Okay, so it's probably Google, right? Google will probably start logging now. Yeah, so Google has started getting time. Camera is to 0 again. This is incorrect, so we're going to pretty much we just did a test to um to get a foreground timestamp, but now what we want to do is we want okay, let me think about this. Let me think about this. The foreground timestamp. I think we might need to create a different function. I think we might need to create a different function because essentially so the problem that we have right now is this function is currently being used to get our app usage data on a normal occurrence. But how we grab usage data normally is different from how we want to use that data for when we foreground things. So this foreground timestamp is different from this right here. It's different from the total time in foreground. So now we want to have this show no, I think this is okay. I think this is okay because foreground time, wait, foreground timestamp, get foreground timestamp. Yeah, I think this might have to be two different functions. I can't think of a way where we can let's open up Notion. We're going to need Notion real quick because we're going to have a bunch of different branches essentially. Oh snap, the last time that I streamed or wrote something down was March 1st. So it's been like 2 weeks I've been working on this. But things we need to oh, my E key's working today. Nice. Things we need to do to properly record timestamps. We need to initially log usage data. This is one data set. And then let's take out unneeded words. So initially log usage data, log foreground time. Just records current foreground app. And how long it's been foregrounded. And then essentially what we need to do is when foreground time is when an app is foregrounded, we should update the total foreground time. Problem Uh, foreground logic shouldn't be used when focus up is foregrounded because usage data will be updated properly. Does that make sense? I mean, we can see. We honestly we can do this. If we do stats total time foreground app and we comment this out and we stop this and we run it again. So what I'm trying to do here is if we run this for loop, this background task while focus up is active, will the usage data update? It shouldn't. It shouldn't update. Well, we'll see. What's up, Inertia? When you first started programming, can you tell me what concepts you had a good knowledge of in the first 6 months? Also, what were you good at? When I first started, I didn't have good knowledge of many concepts. I think in the first 6 months, my first 6 months were pretty rough. Like I didn't really understand data structures and algorithms really well. I was able to grasp if conditions and for loops and the general concepts, but okay, wait, hold on, sorry, I need to focus on this. 2288. Okay, so that's just kind of, all right, let's see if this updates. So 288 to 26306 288. Okay, this doesn't look like it's updating. Yeah, okay, this doesn't look like it's updated. 288143. Okay. Is that good or bad? That's bad, right? Yeah, it means that even if this app is foregrounded, it means that this isn't updated. But I'm pretty sure that if I do this, if I background it again, it starts up again, it backgrounds, and it wakes something up in the app. It'll update so that we have different values for focus up. Yeah, we do. Yep. Okay. 2630. Yeah. Okay. So the initial data set is still there. The old data set gets updated, but it only really happens when we background the app and when we foreground it. So it doesn't update the usage data that often, which is like kind of good. I think it's a good thing. But yeah, I would say like overall my general computer science knowledge wasn't very good. I would say that I was good at problem solving. I was good at math and science, like from a basic fundamental level. I was like those were my strongest subjects. So I was a very like logical thinker and I liked building things. So I felt like I had a lot of innate qualities that had to do with being an engineer, if that makes sense. I had like a good amount of tenacity. Like I was very much a person that didn't like to put problems down. So once I picked up a problem, it was kind of like a Rubik's cube to me, like I would just sit there for hours until I solved the Rubik's cube. So I felt like I had a lot of soft skills that converted into making me a better engineer. I asked this because I started learning, and there is an overwhelmingly large number of concepts, architecture patterns. When you don't have enough knowledge on one topic, it's hard to understand some other stuff depends on that topic. Yeah. I mean, I think the way that you're phrasing it is a way that a lot of computer science students tackle, well, like the topic, or the field, like computer science in general. It does become overwhelming, but that I think that's fair to say for any subject that you go into. Like if you go into law or you go into medical, like you're also going to be overwhelmed by the amount of information. And the trick behind it is to not think. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like just don't think this way, but there is a lot of things, and it's important to just take small steps. And so, like, literally just stop at your first part of the sentence. Like, you said, like, overwhelmingly large number of concepts. Like, stop there. Like, don't even think about architecture. Don't even think about pattern, because it is true that other stuff to learn depend on those topics. But it goes fair, like, it's fair to say that because they depend on the other topics, like because it depends on those three topics that you mentioned, you would need to learn each of those topics individually before you tackled the other stuff that depends on architecture patterns and a number of computer science concepts, right? Like you won't even be able to tackle the more complicated stuff anyway, so there's no point in thinking about it. On top of that, when you dive into the specific concepts, like let's say even data structures and algorithms can maybe tie into architecture when you're talking about scalability. You don't need to care about architecture and scalability if you're looking at data structures and algorithms, and you don't necessarily need to think about scalability or whatever, vice versa. Like you don't have to care about scalability when you're looking at data structures and algorithms. They matter to each other, they complement each other, but you can learn those things separately and then blend them together when you feel ready to do it. But don't just add so much to your plate that you just overwhelm yourself to the point where you don't even know what to study first. Literally, whatever is the first thing in your mind, stop right there and just think about, like, first thing that comes to mind, hash maps. That's all you should worry about. And when you feel comfortable with hash maps, then think about the next thing that's in your head and then go to that. You don't have to go super crazy. Um, for example, I just landed my first job after 5 months of hard learning in Swift iOS. Oh, congrats! And the company uses VIP clean architecture. However, because I don't have enough experience in writing tests and dealing with stuff like this, sometimes I don't understand why all these abstractions and other components are necessary, but I know that after gaining more experience, it will settle in. Yeah, that's true. Like, the experience will settle in, but I think the same concept kind of applies, right? Like you're talking about a lot of stuff, and like I understand you're giving me background, but literally stop. Like whenever you write the word and, before you continue typing and, like, to yourself, like not to me. Like to me you could tell me anything you want, but in your mind when you say and, think about if the thing before you said the word and, if you understand that concept. So in this particular like chat box, right? You said like Swift iOS development, and like, do you understand Swift iOS development? I hope you do. You've been in the job for like a while. And then you go to the next thing, like company uses VIP clean architecture. Do you understand that? You're like, okay, maybe I kind of do, but I feel like I don't have enough experience. You keep going on. You said experience in writing tests, and it's like, okay, this is the part probably that you haven't, where I can confidently say that you probably don't feel comfortable about that enough. You said like after like you said experience in writing tests and dealing with stuff like this. Like just stop and don't think about the dealing with stuff like this. Just focus on unit tests. Focus on like that particular thing. Look at references in your code base or ask senior engineers about how they write tests. Try to find examples and things that'll help you, and try to hone writing tests before you do the other stuff, because there are a lot of things, like you said, like there's a lot of things that blend together. Just focus on writing the tests. Focus on all the small nuances, like how are test instances and like instantiated, how do you declare a test, what are the test modules that I need to care about, like what are the libraries or private repo libraries that I need to like look at. Like these are all like sub sub levels to writing tests. In a general aspect, I don't know what your company architecture is like, nor am I asking you to divulge it, but there's so many different things that just go into writing tests, and you should like pause before you go into all the other stuff for sure. Before you like make sure that you're comfortable with everything before you move on to more complicated things like like abstraction, you know. Uh, when I'm reading some documents, you're completely right. That's how I look at those topics. I always seek to learn first principles. For example, when I'm reading some documents, I try to decode each word and understand the first principles. Nice. I just want your opinion on what your path is like. Thank you for your answer. Yeah, my path. I mean, my path is pretty similar. Um, I do take things one at a time. Um, I would say that my logic aligns with how I talked about the Rubik's cube. So I'll also feel very overwhelmed at points, and then I'll just be like, screw it. Even though I need to know 12 things in order for this thing to work, I'm just not going to care about the 11 things. I'm just going to focus on that one thing first. And then when I run into a problem with that one thing that may require thing number 3 or thing number 7, then I will learn thing 3 and thing 7. And eventually you'll learn all 14 things or whatever you need. And so the path for learning isn't necessarily like sequential. You know, it's not like learn thing 1, learn thing 2, learn thing 3, because documentation isn't really ever going to apply in the same way that you like. It's not, documentation isn't ever going to translate exactly how it is in real life application or writing tests or writing product like production level code, right? So the learning curve and the learning direction isn't doesn't always come sequentially. And so I try not to worry about order or learning things in particular ways. I try to just follow the natural rabbit hole. And if you haven't heard, I'm sure that you've heard the term rabbit hole. For anyone who hasn't, a rabbit hole is when you're diving into a coding problem, you're debugging something, and that ends up being like your problem A, but while you're looking at problem A, you find problem B, C, D, and E, and you go down this rabbit hole. Some, like for most part, rabbit holes are bad things because you end up trying to solve problem E, but you're still stuck on the first step. But in the way that I'm explaining it, if you start to learn how to use rabbit holes effectively, then you can start to go down the right rabbit holes to make sure that you're staying on task to solve the things that you need to solve. You're not going down rabbit holes that kind of kind of derail you from what you're originally trying to do, and it's still like working you towards your goal. It's just like kind of adjacent to it, right? So yeah, hopefully that all helps. Um, that's my general logic, I think, when it comes to debugging or solving things. And obviously, you'll see it in real time because I'm doing it right now. But yeah, like you could see my logic. Like I do. This is pretty similar to how I do things. I test things. I write down notes. I write down timestamps. I debug. I write bullet points. I do a lot of stuff to try and figure it all out. Hold on. I need to check my phone real quick. I think we're okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I don't think I see anything. Okay. So, this is not a problem anymore. So we'll cross that out. Okay, so if this is the case, then I think what we would want to do, I think that we would want because I don't want the foreground timestamp. I don't want the foreground time to be accounted for when pulling. Let me see. I don't want the foreground timestamp being included in the initial usage data pull. So let's see here. If we get the current foreground time, it honestly it ends up kind of adding like a few extra seconds, which isn't like the worst thing in the world. It's just not accurate, you know? Um, let's see. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. I guess the foreground timestamp doesn't really matter too much. We can also make it um this only happens once, like getting the foreground timestamp. It's not like the worst thing in the world. It'll add a few extra milliseconds. System current time minus package timestamp of when the activity was resumed. So it really is like a couple of seconds. Is that really accurate? Huh. I guess we could always account. Let me write this down. Um, yeah, I think this is okay actually. Um, if class activity resume. Yeah, this makes sense. So I was worried that adding more foreground time would be concerning if pretty much usage stats data doesn't get updated unless we go into our Focus Up app and we do something to change the app lifecycle. And I was worried that the foreground time being added or changed to focus up would be a problem. But actually, this is the one app where it doesn't matter because we don't block it, or we shouldn't block our focus up app. So I think this is okay for the most part. Okay, so let's go ahead and do, we have to add some things together, right? We have to do val total time. Something like this. And the way this should work is there should be no difference to the initial one, but there should be a difference. There should be a difference to the total. Yeah, I think that's right. All right, so we're gonna see if this works here. We are going to just go into an app, just run our stack. All right, so now we have camera, and the camera's staying still, but this is being added on. This is still being added on. Okay. And then let's see what happens if we go to Google here. Google is being added to, but this probably got reset, right? 96816. 96. Oh, it saves it. Oh, I didn't think about that. Because it gets the same, it gets the last chance, or like, it gets the last point that the activity was resumed, so it saves to get the, okay. So all of these are constantly changing. 163, so okay, this is actually more accurate. This is actually more accurate than my than the other hash map. So maybe there's no need to compare. Actually, there is a reason to compare because this doesn't get updated. Why doesn't this get updated? It's because it doesn't get updated because we are calling we're calling get foreground app. And this gets a new list. This doesn't update this list. But we can update this old list. What's up, Zohaib? Zohaib. I'm gonna say Zohybe. I'm sorry if I murder your name. Uh, am I full stack web dev? I'm a full stack iOS dev. I'm a full stack. I don't know, full stack browser dev. I work on Chrome iOS, so I don't. I guess I'm a web dev. Yeah, I work on a web platform, so I guess I could call myself a full stack web dev. What app am I making today? There's a link in the description below. It's the app that I'm making right now. So, yeah, there's a link. It'll explain what I'm doing. A little far from being done, but that's okay. So let's see here. All right, so now Google is at one. Okay, so it's at something, right? So it says Google is at 1772952. So now if we restart this, we're going to see if the um initial usage data gets updated, and it does to some degree. It gets updated to 157, which isn't necessarily 177 right here. Do I like that? Oh, and see, it still updates because the current time that it finds. Okay, so usage data might be lacking behind in general. So maybe we should just maybe we should honestly only go by the foreground app timestamp. The activity resumed. No, we can't do that. Because this is only since this is only the foreground time, this is the total foreground time. Total foreground time is this. And it gets added on top of it. Right. My question is, like, it should be the last time that the activity was resumed. So if the last time the activity is resumed, it should be like some minuscule value. That minus the event time. Like, it's staying. Why is it staying? It's current time millis minus package timestamp. This just gets the most recent activity resumed, which should be the app. Is it because Uh, Focus Up is the name, right? Yeah, it's the name. Do you have a plan to make money by the money? I don't know what that means, but I mean, I hope I could eventually make money off of it, but right now I'm just trying to finish it in general. I don't like that it's accumulating the value. It's accumulating the hash map, and it's not. Why is it saving it? Like if I go to the camera here, this will start updating the camera, right? Yeah, it will. But why is it saving? It should be. All of these should be 0, right? Hold on. Total time in foreground plus foreground time. Foreground is timestamp. It should be generating this package hash map every time. Do I have a plan to make money by the app? Oh, yeah. Probably like cosmetics or something. I don't know how I feel about subscriptions and stuff. The point is to help make procrastinating a little bit easier, specifically for students. So I know that students don't have a lot of money to work with, so I think I'd feel uncomfortable having like a subscription model for them to use the app. I think that I would probably do it where like, hey, like if you guys want cosmetics or you want to change the colors or you wanted to support me, then I would have like microtransactions for that. But I'm hoping to have it be lightweight in terms of server costs and databases, which is why a lot of the work is through local memory. To try and create an app that just makes it easy for students to use. Are you sure with Ask Me Anything? Yeah, I'm sure. What's up, Angular? I mean, obviously you can ask anything. Whether I answer it if it's like to anything, um, then I could decide to just not answer it. But yeah. Do one-time purchase for cheap. That is a good option. No, I wouldn't do a one-time thing. Like I wouldn't do a one-time purchase thing. I think. Like I want people to be able to download the app for free, and I want people to be able to use most of the functionality, if not all of it, out of the gate. Do you do job, or something? Yeah, I have a job. I have a full-time job, but this is something that I work on the side, which is why I'm working on it on a Saturday and not during the weekdays. During the weekdays, I try to focus on other stuff. I don't know why this is adding total time. I wonder if foreground times. What if I take this out? This will probably just ignore this, right? Um, F5. I'm assuming that this should break things. Get daily usage time of an app list. All right, let's see what this code looks like. I don't know what to expect here, actually. It's the same. And it's staying the same. Okay. So it's staying the same, which means that in our logic for app timestamp, it's getting the last activity. Because now if we add foreground time back, it's a total time. If the package is equal to the foreground package name, so I know that's working fine, then we get foreground timestamp. And foreground timestamp is, it goes through and it gets the most current one, right? And then it takes the timestamp and minuses it minus the current millisecond. And that's just the time. And then that's added on top. Yeah, okay. Don't use AI in your workflow. It will help you a lot. I use it sometimes for general questions, but I noticed that it doesn't really help for for like nuanced problems or problems that are kind of niche. Alright, we're gonna try again here. Let's see. Excuse me. See, like, now this is saved, right? Like, it's updating. It's being called a lot. If we swap over to, let's say this, right? Swap over to Google. This will still, wait, did that? Okay, wait, hold on. Let's see the next one. Yeah, so this will still stay at 512170. But it should reset. It should reset. Because the current foreground package name this stays here. I don't understand. Let's do this. You know what it might be? It might be that calling the usage event logic. Yeah, that might be it. The usage events logic might be triggering an update for total time in foreground, which is why the number is being saved in total time in foreground. Does that make sense? I mean, let's just do this. So what we're expecting here is when we switch between apps, we should get a 0 foreground time, like overall, when we aren't on specific packages. Yeah. Uh, the app landing page is very simple. Did you build it yourself? I think I used templates on WordPress or something, but outside of that, I designed certain things myself. So yeah. All right, we're gonna see how this works. So let's see. So now this is only foreground time, so everything should be 0, and only the Google app should have a number on it. All right, which is fair. So now it's 12766, and if we swap over here to, let's say, a different app, then Google will be reset to 0, and it does. Okay, so, oh, that's so interesting. So the stat here is, yeah, the user stats gets upgraded or updated with the total foreground time when you add this to it. But it only works when it gets called. Interesting. Interesting. Do you know native Android or iOS dev or Flutter only? Um, I started learning Flutter. I'm an iOS dev in my full-time job, and I am learning native Android, but I don't think I'm anywhere near smart enough to actually code in native Android. Okay, so the foreground time just gets updated, I guess. That's interesting. Um, we have to make a note of that because I'm gonna forget. Um, oh, you know what it is? What if we're adding to the foreground time and that, wait, is that a thing? It might be that we're accidentally adding. What if we do this? What if it's because we're adding it to the foreground? Like we're maybe because we're adding it here and that's why it's saving it in stats I foreground because it's an object. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. But it makes sense in my head. So stats I is an index and that has a property, and maybe when we're adding a time to that property or to that yeah, to that variable, that class variable, it's also adding time to it. So maybe doing this will create it's a separate value that's away from the array, and we can add it here, and that won't affect anything. Maybe. All right, we're gonna try this, and then hopefully it'll work. And if it doesn't work, or even if it does work, I will be taking a lunch break very quickly. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but it's like 1 o'clock for me, and then I'll come back. We'll code for another hour maybe. See how it goes. All right, so let's check it out here. All right, off the bat, it's already wrong, or not that it's wrong, but I can already see some changes or some saved entry points. Like for example here, camera 751396. Wait, what happened? Let's see it update again. 75268. Cool. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is yeah, the camera is no matter how we phrase it, the total foreground time is being added. If we do this, I wonder if this will just show a static value. I think last time we tried it, it did. Do you know? Yeah, cross-platform's easier than native. Not really. I mean, it is in general, but when you choose a complicated idea like mine, and you have to go into native language anyway, it gets more annoying because now you're dealing with a framework and you're doing native code, so it's not very fun. Um, so again, this doesn't change, but it has all the values. Hmm. I think in that case, like, I don't understand. If that's the case, oh, wait, total time foreground plus foreground timestamp. No, because this should equal 0 unless package name is equal to foreground package name. And then it would give a foreground timestamp 0. Total time. It doesn't make sense why it saves the... I already tested that the foreground time is different. I already tested that the total time is constant. So how come is it that when I add them together, it saves the total time and the foreground time? Like it saves the difference. Oh, it's because the hash map stays the same. And unless... Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. So let's do this. Google. It'll go and do its thing. It'll show a difference in seconds, which is 497,576. If we switch to the camera, all right, 252,707. And now 252,707. If we go back, 252,707. Wait, that's higher, right? Oh yeah, it's higher. Okay, so it is saving it. I don't understand. Like 771387, and then it adds again. Why is it adding every time? Oh. This is static. This is static. You know what I didn't check though? I didn't check if the foreground time resets every time. It might be that the time range is too big. Let's see here. I think I'm on the right track here. All right. We go to camera, it wipes it, it starts it. Camera will be a certain number. It'll be sure, 11,000. And we'll go here. So it's 1600 the last time. It'll reset to 0, quote unquote. And then if we go back, let's see if it's day 16. Oh, it starts again. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. So it is working. Damn. Hmm. What if we do... All right, this is like mega debugging. So we're showing the total time foreground, we're showing the foreground, and then we're showing total time, which is adding them together. And if things are correct, we can see what the values are like when we switch to the camera, which is usually the first thing in the array. All right, let's see here. All right, test run, test run. All right, so we have 9, 8, 2, 9, and then we add that up, right? 25, 100,000. Sure. And then we'll go to this one, and we'll see what this looks like here. All right, so camera. Let's see, camera. Oh, so now you're showing as the proper thing, huh? I think. Camera 1025. And then when we swap out, that wakes it up and it saves it. It actually saves it. Wow. Because now it's 0, but now total foreground time is updated. It really does. It added it to... I don't want that though. How do I make a shallow copy? Dot copy. I think it's actually adding it. This is so crazy. It's like adding them together updates the actual foreground time. This is so weird. So according to this, it shouldn't be getting added, but it is. Because if it wasn't being added, then this number, like, oh, 125148. See, now it's adding more. It's adding more. And then when I swap out and go back to here, it gets added 15038 and then plus a little bit more. I'm pretty sure doing usage event is actually updating the foreground time when it leaves. Interesting. That's so interesting because if I don't use this variable, then foreground time stays the same. That's so interesting. Like if I do this, right? These will probably just stay stagnant. Like if they don't interact with each other, then it's like the API doesn't know that time should be updated for either one. So weird. Like here, I bet that we won't have any issues. So we'll go to the camera because the camera is the best way to see this. So camera, you see 1054343. It'll keep adding. Great. And then if I go here, this won't update to 154642. It won't update to whatever. It did update. Wow. Okay. So they updated. Okay, now riddle me this. If I don't even use foreground time, will this update? No, right? Oh, you know why this probably doesn't work? It's probably because they're not used, so this doesn't instantiate. Wait. In Kotlin, if does that line of code still run? Okay, it says it still runs. So let's see if it does. Because if that's the case, then all that really needs to happen is that the code needs to run. All right, let's see here. Let's go to camera. Camera is going to be something 10.6.9.4.8.1, and if we go here, it does update. Oh shoot, it does update. It just updates when we leave. Yes, because it doesn't update while it's there, but when we leave, it updates to 3046724. Yeah, okay. After foreground app is backgrounded. That's good to know. Is that normal? Like, if we don't use this at all, will this still work? Like, is it even tied to the usage stats? Probably not. It probably is just a background thing. It probably is just a background thing. It is a background thing, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. All right, let's see here. So if I do this, it'll update camera, calling it. 3, 2, 1, boom. Yup. All right, cool. So we figured it out. It has nothing to do with our foreground time, but it gets updated anyways. And sometimes the millisecond doesn't really make sense because milliseconds might not update with what's given to the server or whatever. Okay. So this is all working fine and dandy. Okay, I'm gonna think about this while we are on lunch break. So let's say it's 1:30. I'll come back at like 2 maybe. 2. Uh, does that work? 132. Yeah. Okay, guys. I will be back. This is good progress. This is very good progress. Let me stop this so I don't burn my computer to the ground. And I will be back. You guys should also eat as well. But yeah, thanks for coming. I will be right back. And we'll code for another hour. I'm back. I'm back. It's kind of cold. Holy. Ooh. Whew, I am cold. Okay. So now okay, so now that we have this, this app, if usage time changed, what's updated usage time? Holy, what is this logic? What the heck? Let's see. I have to reread it. So if updated app is equal to the list of a package name, if it's null, if it's not null, then updated goes daily usage time. If there's a daily usage time, then show it, and if it doesn't, then make it a null. Okay, and then usage time changed if this is not empty and current usage time is not equal to current usage time. Okay, so if usage time is not empty and the time is okay, if foregrounded app package name is empty and usage time is changed, I think this has to be equal. If the current usage time, oh wait, no. It should be not equals. Right. That makes sense. So if the time changed and foreground package name is empty, which means that it's new, it'll set the foregrounded app as an updated app. And then if it's not empty, then we go through the app list and what the hell? What the Okay, I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to return foreground app. Oh no. So this is saying we should add a note here. Oh, this doesn't make any sense. We wanted to say if foregrounded. Also, this should just be foreground app. I don't know why. why it's foregrounded. It's just foreground app. If foreground app has been set already, we have an instance where we have two apps that were foregrounded at a close time proximity, since if in this case we can't evaluate blocking a specific app, since we found more than one. Instead, we decide to update all apps. What is app here? Oh, decide all apps in app list. This is kind of complicated logic. It makes sense for the most part, I think. Okay, so then we return foreground app, and then what the heck is this? Alright, if we get to the end of this, we get to the end of this here. Oh, I see. It's the try catch statement. So we don't have to care about this. This should be its own, this should honestly be its own logic here. Well, I mean, it's its own code. It should be fine. What's up, Aaron, near you? Can you code me a virtual girlfriend? No, but AI can. AI can code it for you. Unfortunately, I'm not that smart. After foreground app is returned, we can update app list to update a specific entry. And if in any case this fails, then it just returns a empty statement. Okay, cool. I think this all makes sense. So we'll save this, and then pretty much get foreground app is called here. So when this happens, we get a foreground app. In the event, let's see, in the event that this happens, for profile app, if app is equal to foregrounded app, I don't know why I say foregrounded. I mean, foreground is fine, but there's no point in making it past tense or whatever. let me give you a code. All right, yeah. Go for it. So I guess here, I guess we would just want uh um all right, let's try this out. Um did we fix all the logic here? We did. Message retracted? Why? Why'd you delete it? I already read it. What's up, David? I'm 26. I am 26. I'm getting old. All right, let's see here. So we're gonna go to camera, I guess. And this should trigger all of this, honestly. Let's see. Okay. Why is it only doing... Oh no, it's doing all of them. But I don't understand. What's like, I get it. Focus up isn't updated. So Why is the package name YouTube? Huh? Oh, the package name here is YouTube. Oh, I see. This is slightly incorrect. It should be if usage time um I think this is taking on too many logical branches. I think there should be four. So this should be actually this should let me do that real quick. It should evaluate logic separately, I think. It should be like if usage time changed. Okay, so the first thing is if it changed. If it changed at all, then we should check if foreground app package name not is empty. And if it's empty, then we do this. Right? Yeah, because if usage time didn't change at all, then we don't care about any of this logic. And then if we found a usage time change at all and we realize that it's not empty, something like this. Because we don't want an else statement anytime that this isn't true. Yeah, that makes sense. And we should do this here, like that. And this statement doesn't really make any sense. Something like this. If usage time changed and it's empty, then we do this, else we realize that things are incorrect and we run. I don't think this actually helps. Like the app and the foreground app. It's kind of useless logic. Seems to be breaking here. Oh, whoops. Let me save this and run it. Oh. What's up, Ritom? How are you doing? All right, let's see if this works. It's gonna get the debug logic's gonna be really loud here. Let's see. Did it work? 1.7. I don't think it's working. Okay, it's not working. Foreground app is being returned 0. This is getting spammed a lot though. So I wonder what's printing it out. But I can see here. Okay. So let's go into here maybe. Camera. And that sets foreground app, which is currently nothing. And we'll go through it again. And this time we'll hit focus up. And we'll realize it's not empty. We'll go here. And we'll do, for every app, YouTube. Let's go until we find camera. Okay. Okay, camera, where's the usage time? Okay, so 175. Is it possible to, I know that the terminal's kind of loud right now, but are we able to do this? Okay, so 179, and if we do that, oh, what happened? 698. Okay, let's do a little bit more debugging here. Let's do, Why is this sending so fast? More importantly, why is... Let's see, the time isn't really doing anything. So we can ignore that. The Focus Up app is not updating. It's weird that these aren't pairing up. It says they're paired up. Um, see, all of this is updated. 724972, 724972. But the app list isn't updated. How come this doesn't have the Focus Up app in here? More importantly, why are there... Hmm. Oh, I guess it's not really updating. Oh, I see. Mm. Hey Kamar, what's up? How's everything with your personal project, with the development of your app and balancing it with your full-time job plus free time to do other stuff? It's going well. Obviously things are a little bit slower, but um it's all good. It's all doing well. Just a little confused trying to figure out how to get this going. How's things with you? How's your project going? Are you doing well? All right, let's see. I guess we could go to, we have to find it. All right, 731017. It's 731017. Seven three one zero one seven. Focus up is 731017. Is that what's here? See, it still holds. I don't get it. Like, why isn't this updating? You know what we have to do? All right, let's stop this. The print statement doesn't help at all. And let's do another for loop because this might get a little messy. We'll just do oh, excuse me. Okay. So now we can do app list because this is just the app list at the index, right? And it can just equal app list I, like that. Okay, now surely this works, right? Okay, I think this should work. This changes the index. It looks for the package name. Wait. No. This does not work. Why is it accepting? Oh, maybe it's accepting a different app. This isn't right though. So let's try this first and then we can. So it's the package name. The package name is, yeah, and then we set it to be either one. Okay. Always glad to see you work on your project. Gives me an idea of what it's like in the sweet field. Yeah, yeah, no problem. I think I'm just trying to make something fun. I like having side projects. It's nice. Gives you something to do. All right, hopefully this works. Let's give it another go. Hopefully this sets it properly now. If this was the problem, maybe it was that we were wrapped in a double for app loop. So let's see here. Oh, it works. There you go. And now foreground app is camera. Nice. Okay, so I think what was happening here, to be honest, because I feel like this should work. So let's try for profile, old app in app list. Let's try this. All right, let's try this out. Let's see if this works. And also, I don't know what's happening that we're printing so many things, but this seems like a little too much. Why is it sending so much? Holy Jesus. What is happening? Why is it doing this? I don't know why it's sending so much. What's the frequency at? Frequency would be in background task. 178 every 5 seconds. Yeah, there shouldn't be a problem. I don't know why it's spamming so much. All right, let's see if we still get the spam messages. Hopefully not. All right. Seems like we are. And this time around it should be camera. Nice. Okay. So, can I explain why we're printing so many? Not really. If I what if I comment these out? You think we'll still get you think we'll still get spammed? Current time. Why is it spamming like 30 times? Okay, let's think about why this is being triggered multiple times. It's because the app. Oh, I see. It's because for every app that's iterating, it does that. So really, we would only want to do all of this. We would only want to do it like here, right? Something like this, right? All right, let's see if this works. And, well, I mean, it'll work, but make it a little cleaner. And then, it'll just keep, every time it does this, it'll just keep resetting and it'll keep on updating and it'll only keep finding camera, which is like what I'm trying to test with debugging, that if we get a foreground app, it just doesn't continually update something that needs to be changed. Like it only accepts one foreground app, essentially. So here we're going to get a change. It should not spam. It should only be a one-time thing. Hopefully here. We didn't even get anything. And then the second time we did get stuff. Okay, let's think about this. The reason we didn't get stuff is because it returned a profile app here. So we want to call this when we return as well. Just so that we can debug this, we should see a daily usage every time, including the first time, just to make sure that things are working appropriately. I think this makes sense. Right before it's returned, but it still has app list, it still has returned list. This is all pretty good stuff, pretty good cash money stuff. Okay, let's see here. And obviously, ideally, like, we would cut a lot of the data moving to only include usage time. All right, nice. So here you go. You'll see that these are all the same. And then you'll see camera. So on the first iteration here, I guess it doesn't find anything. And then as we can see, cameras continually being updated. For example, if we go to Google here, we will see that within the time frame, Google won't show anything in particular, but there will be something in the background that just says that there is a change in what's being noticed. And then at some point, Google will start being updated, camera will be updated, and then it'll say foreground app is Google. If we switch back here, we'll also get an undefined. Let's see if that makes sense. 5, 4. It seems like when we swap, we don't get we don't seem to get any changes. I don't really understand the logic behind it, but I also don't want to dig into it. Like, I think I understand most of it to understand that, like, we're switching apps, so even though this number doesn't reflect it, there's probably something going on. There's probably something going on here where the times are different. Um, it's probably because by the end of this, oh, you know what it is? It's because by the end of this, app list is equal to the updated list. So we would want to do something like this. All right, let's see if that works. Because the app list should be printed first, and then it should go through the changes. Wait, should I even do that? No. It should just be like this, right? Before any of the changes happen. And then it changes everything. It changes everything, and then the app list is updated. Okay, let's try this. This will probably make more sense. Or at least I think it does. And if this does work, then we can call it here, but we'll see. If my thing doesn't want to crap out on me. All right, let's see here. Focus app. It should have the proper amount, and it should also show no foreground. No foreground. Perfect. You can see there's a difference between two of them, and that's why they're not updated yet. And then when they're updated here, you see that there's a camera, you see that this is synced, you see that focus up has been updated, and as we go on, the only thing that changes is the camera, and we can focus our efforts on that. Nice. Let's go. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, this was a good day. This is such a good amount of progress. We did good work today, boys. Oh my god, I'm tired. Okay, that's enough coding for now. I'm probably going to take a nap. That was a very good coding session. I'm really happy. I don't know why when I was working on stuff the past 2 weeks, things weren't updating properly or code wasn't making any sense. But we got it all working now. So I'm really happy. It's all working pretty well. And hopefully you guys were coding along or being productive with me and you guys were able to succeed. If you guys liked the stream or the video, if you're watching after I end the stream, then make sure to subscribe so you guys can join me for the next one, or just to support me because you like the content. Thank you guys for coming. I might be back later, but I don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.